10, 12, 14-inch toms, and 22-inch bass drum, and a couple of snares, and that's what I would do. That's sort of my go-to set.
And what era is the yellow kit that you're right behind there?
These are all 80s drums. And a couple of years ago, see, I sold my big yellow set, or traded them in after Kim. I traded them in and got that ebony set, and so I really regretted getting rid of that particular kit. So a few years ago, this guy in Coburg, he has a lot of drums for sale, and I saw he had some yellow Gretsch drums. So I drove up there, and sure enough, I saw the silver sealer over the edge, and I went, okay, these are 80 and early. So I bought those, and then there was a 12 by 14 with that kit, and I knew Sean O'Grady. He bought my old kit, my old yellow kit. So I knew he still had my 14 by 14, the one I played with Kim, and I actually talked him into trading with me. So I have the 14 by 14. No, it's over with that kit that I originally played with Kim, and I recovered all these drums because the yellow finish was pretty bad on all of them. So I got the wrap from Jam and Sam, which is identical to the Gretsch wrap that they used to use. Yeah, it's called Vintage Yellow. So I got the wrap, and so I recovered them all. They look brand new, they look fantastic. So yeah,
that is amazing.
Yeah.
So they're all the early '80s drums of that yellow kit.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. Okay, this has been awesome. Let's just what are you doing now that we're not out, nobody's out playing live? What are you doing? Are you recording any projects? Are you practicing? Or, well, I know you always practice, but what are you doing now?
I'm yeah, I seem to be busy recording here in the basement with I have a couple of friends that are doing projects like singer-songwriter type stuff that I'm doing. Antoine Fafard, this bass player, he's opening up some tracks for different drummers if they want to play on them. So I've been doing a couple of those. I got a track that I want to do with my band, do one of those virtual thing where everybody records their part at home, and then I put it together in a video or attempt to. So I'm doing that and practicing, and I've been exchanging some ideas with Steve Smith, believe it or not. Well, I mean, anything I would show him would be like child's play to him. But anyway, he seems interested. I had recently I had a sort of creative burst of new ideas. And so I said, we were talking about something else, but I said, I'm going to send you these ideas. So, and I did. And then he said, well, can you record those so I can hear them? So I did that very nervously, and knowing that he would be listening to them. But anyway, and then he sent me back some stuff of him. So it was very cool, like him at home in Oregon playing his drums and saying, check this out. So that was interesting. So like a lot of, aside from the depression and sheer horror of what's going on in the world right now, there's some neat things going on in my basement right now, and which I'm kind of enjoying, So, and I'm trying to learn Final Cut Pro and how to edit and do multicam videos and all that. So I'm trying to do that, and so I'm staying busy down here. That's for sure.
And it's a great opportunity to do things like that. I saw your conversation with Frank regarding that, and that's amazing. So, would you mind playing a little bit? Are you warmed up? Would you mind playing something for us here? I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot. I probably am, and if you don't really wish to, I totally understand. But
I don't know whether the trouble is I have this great setup for recording and everything, but I don't know how it's going to sound. Hang on. I got to unplug batteries, so it won't die. I'll show you a couple of things that I've worked
here we go.
on.
Yep.
Hang on. I think, tell me, how does this sound?
As good as it's going to be. Yeah. It's good. Yep.
That's my good lick. Okay, this thing I've been working on, it goes, it's a phrase that goes like this. It goes. found, oh, this is a good way. This must sound like rat shit, I know, but a way to adapt that to 30-second notes. So this goes, let me see if I can play this. So 2, 3, 4. Or, yeah, that must just sound like a pile of crap. But anyway,
it's better than my pile of crap.
So
that is. Where do you get the genesis of these ideas? Where did that come from?
Actually, that idea came from Vito years ago. You know Vito Retza.
Oh, yeah.
When he used to like me, one time he said to me, "DeLong, check this out," and he went. So I used to use it as a thing to warm up, and then a little while ago, I thought, well, what could I do with this? So I came up with I got like 10 pages of different ways to play that phrase on the drum set, right? And I better plug my phone back in. And then I thought, well, what if I did it as triplets? So that was another bunch of pages. So
yeah.
it's because I'm amazed at my age that I can still have these creative bursts where I take one idea and go run with it. It's fun. It's great. It makes me feel alive. You know, I love it a lot. So it's cool. I know you. It's hard if you could hear the drums sound really good here.
Right.
I can't imagine. What's that?
I've been there. They certainly do.
Yeah, that wasn't a good ad for Gretsch drums because, like I said, I was hoping I could do it properly.
I know.
But
yeah.
it's anyway.
If we figure that out at some point, we can do a part 2 where we can just kind of talk more about maybe some of the phrases and things like that. But where can people reach you? Where's the best place online that people can reach you? You have your website, pauldelong.com.
Yeah, that's it. And because I teach at Humber, and the last couple of months at Humber were a write-off as far as being there with the students. So I had to get the Skype lesson thing going, and I got some software and the technology to do that, and so that the drums don't sound like that. So the drums sound what they sound like when I record them. And I got a couple of cameras and headset mic, and so I'm actually equipped to do Skype lessons now. If anybody's interested, you just can contact me through my website, and you can buy my books through my website. Yeah, that's the best way.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for spending the time and being the guinea pig here on the show. This is awesome. The Gretsch Afternoon Drum Break, and I definitely, in fact, to be completely honest with you, you were probably the last guy that I asked. I thought, Paul's not going to want to do this. I don't think he'd be done. And then you said your reply was totally, you'd love to do it. I'm like, so I'm honored and I'm grateful that you're and answered and talked Gretsch drums. I know how much you love Gretsch drums and how passionate you are about them, as am I. Every kind of.
Well, man, even when I was endorsing Yamaha and Pearl, whatever, I always had Gretsch drums at home, and the love never stopped, and so I'm sorry, I was realizing today, you were asking me about my career and stuff. I could have just talked about the smell of Gretsch drums for an hour, and that would have been fine. It was like, I know, there's all kinds of things to talk about with Gretsch drums. Yeah, I didn't quite get to all of it. Lenny White, best Gretsch drum sound ever. Romantic Warrior, the first tune, Majestic Dance, best Gretsch drum sound ever. Gretsch drums with clear ambassadors. Check it out. It's the best.
There's a Tony album, I think, from '76. I can't remember what it's called. It's he's got the girls standing there at the legs. He's got the drum sound on that album.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And Harvey Mason playing on a Dave Grusin cut and I actually talked to him online through one of his live things and got a little bit of history of that. And man, his drum sound on that was incredible. So why is it you think so many great players gravitate towards Gretsch drums?
I think it's just it's the legacy of all who played them. You know, I mean, think about it: Tony and Elvin and Philly Joe Jones and Max Roach and Art Blakey and all those. That was that whole pile of amazing drummers. That was the sound of jazz, the Blue Note records and everything. Everybody played that. And then all the rock, like Jeff Beccaro, same thing. He might have been endorsing Pearl drums, but he talks about his Gretsch drums that he used in the studio.
Yep.
Carlos Vega, the Yamaha guy, but he played some Gretsch drums. And Vinny, of course, was always a Gretsch guy. And so, I mean, yeah, it's a legacy that's quite astounding, you know. And the drums, they don't disappoint. You know, they always sound great. Whatever.